Hey guys, I am Vanguard here with the deck profile of the Hound Razor Owie deck. This deck at the Construction Cup today for set 7. It was technically top 2, but the person that was piloting this deck gave me the win, so I was able to get the playmat today. But I did want to still give a shout out to Max that was piloting this deck really well. We basically played like 2 hours straight of the Buff Sagra matchup with this deck, and he ended up beating most of his Buff Sagra matchups, and he made top 4 and technically top 2. So I wanted to kind of show you guys the deck. Grade 3 lineups, you're running 3 more AoEs because she is your Persona Ride. It is very important to get the Persona Ride for the extra power. And then I do run 3 or 4 of the other grade 3, which he's a fantastic card. He is basically your main card that gets crit. So any OT, any triggers should be going to him. And then 1 Fire Regalis. In this build, I believe the Fire Regalis is the most effective card to use because it can use as a discard fodder. It can be used to play the effect to get you an extra card, so you don't have to waste any cards. Because in this deck, how you manage your resources is very important. So Fire Regalis is recommended. Depending on the meta, I think Angel Ladder works too, or the Grail, because Persona riding is important, like I said. So the Grail is important, but I think the Fire Regalis just does the job so much better. The grade 2 lineup, you are running 4 of her. She is fantastic because that she does search, look at top 7, and if there is a high beast, you can call it out. So basically, what Sword Me back in the days used to do to call another card and get an extra column early. So she's very good. Requirement is 1 counterblast. I do run one more copy of the grade 2 ride line. This card is surprisingly very efficient on recycling your cards because of the fact that sometimes you do run out early on your grade 1 high beast, and this card really helps to filter that card, especially like Saragons that go in the drop. You can search it again with Aoi, and you use this card to put it back so you can cycle it again. 4 Biscottis is actually very important in my current build. Biscotti does 2 things. Obviously, it is a recycler, so it does you can drop and draw a card for energy that you're not using that much in this deck. Second of all, her actual placement ability on Persona Ride is very important because that's the fact that you are filtering out cards, and you want to make sure that you do filter as much cards as possible, and also lets you top deck cards, which is very important in this deck because you do have to highly rely on triggers. All right, for the grade 1 lineups, this is the star of the deck. If you don't play this, there is no point of playing this deck. You're running 4 Saragions, 4 of the dogs that get energy or soul charge. This card is actually very key in your deck. One, it is an 18k booster, as well as Saragon as well. These are actually both 18k boosters, so they're very important. But 2 is he is a very big part of your resource management. Depending on how you play him, make sure that you get your energy and soul. Very important card in this build. The main attacker of the deck is this guy right here. If he's in the center back row, the opponent has to use 2 or more to guard. And because of Aoi's skill, it'll get +5. You can swing with him, force the 2 card guard, because it is required by his ability, and most people don't give it, and you would essentially rely on triggers to hit the crit and force the extra damage to make the opponent uncomfortable. And then lastly, I run one of the Topaz. This card is really good for many reasons. One, you can combo with the grade 3 to intercept and activate the Guardian skill. 2 is it also filters your deck, so it does matter as well, because in this deck, filtering is key, and that's how you win with this deck. Ironically, very funnily, my friend decided to just use the Sanctitude I gave him, because this is a secondary backup Sanctitudes I keep, and he decided not to change it and just keep how it is. But it worked out for him, and it seems like there was no decks that triple drive, so it didn't really make a huge difference. All right, for the trigger lineup, eight crits, three of the soul fronts because you do need the soul, so it is very important that you are running the soul front. And lastly, I am four heals, and then the yellow OT was a tech that my friend wanted to try, and Max hit the yellow OT 4 games out of 5, and the one game he just happened to have it in his hand for defensive purposes. So was the yellow OT a good choice? When I asked him, and he said no. It worked out for him because he ended up hitting the yellow OT multiple times and nuking the opponent's board. It was very effective for him, but at the same time, if he had a red OT, he would have had situations where he could have finished the game. So I do think the red OT is the one I really personally recommend with this deck in the future. And for those of you guys that um, want to try different OTs. I've actually played the Keter OT, which was really funny. Unfortunately, I just never got to hit it and never saw the effectiveness of it. The blue OT is also nice because you do need to survive the next attack coming from the opponent. So I do think it is very important to run blue OTs, and it has a crit too, so it's pretty effective. But overall, I do think that running the red OT was the best solution that we had. One key thing here is this crit here. It's a high beast crit, so on your top 7 search on your ride line, this card can come handy, so make sure that you guys are running a high beast triggers if possible. Overall, for the tournaments, he did really well. He ended up playing against four Balsagras and one Artisteria, and he only lost the one game in the top or before top cut. So he did really well, and he actually would have been in the second place if he actually was playing to win. So I do think that this deck was very underrated, and the way that he played the deck was piloted very well, and it actually had a very good matchup against Balsagra. So I do believe that the matchups matter, because if he ended up playing against Artisteria, he would have had a hard time. So make sure you guys comment, like, subscribe to the channel, and check out the other deck profiles I have or I've been trying to work on. I do have some shorts, so you guys can keep up on that way as well. But that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.